What if I told you that the most critical life or death decision you make each day isn't which pill you take, but what you choose for breakfast? Would you believe me? I didn't used to. Not until the day I felt the cold floor of the emergency room. The day I saw the panic in my wife's eyes. The day a heart attack nearly took everything from me. On that day, I realized my greatest enemy wasn't age. My enemy was an imposter, one that I invited into my home every single morning. That's it. It looks harmless, doesn't it? But inside, it's a machine that produces a thick sludge, silently clogging your arteries, making your heart struggle to pump blood, and turning your high blood pressure into a ticking time bomb. Let's be honest for a second. Do you ever feel that heaviness in your chest? Or get breathless just from bending down to tie your shoes? Or that nagging fear that one day, a stroke will come knocking? If you've ever felt even one of these things, type 1 in the comments. You are not alone. But I'm not here today to spread fear. I'm here to tell you there's a way out. After that day, my cardiologist revealed a secret to me. It wasn't an expensive pill, but a biological switch in your breakfast that has the power to reverse this damage. A natural way to start the process of unclogging your arteries. In the rest of this video, I'm not just going to tell you what that switch is. I'm going to explain why it is such a game changer for seniors' heart health. Stay with me. Because what you're about to hear could be the difference between a future filled with nagging anxiety, and a life you are truly in command of. Do you know what a slice of white bread and a desert sandstorm have in common? It sounds absurd, doesn't it? But imagine this with me. Inside our bodies is a magnificent highway system thousands of miles long, our arteries. Their inner lining is delicate and silky smooth, designed to let blood flow effortlessly. But when you eat the wrong breakfast, full of sugar and refined flour, you are unleashing a sandstorm into that system. Billions of tiny sugar particles act like abrasive sandpaper, constantly scraping, scratching, and damaging that delicate, silky lining. Our body, in an attempt to defend itself, fights back. But it doesn't fight intelligently. It creates something called chronic inflammation, a smoldering fire, burning the walls of your arteries from the inside, day after day. And where there's a fire, there's smoke. The smoke here is atherosclerotic plaque. Bad cholesterol, LDL, acts like a clumsy repair crew, rushing to those scratches. But instead of healing them, it sticks, hardens, and attracts more of its friends. They create a growing arterial blockage, like a multi-car pileup on the highway during rush hour. And this is when you start to feel it. That feeling of breathlessness when you climb a few stairs isn't because you're getting older. It's because that pileup is blocking oxygen from reaching your lungs. That feeling of heaviness, that slight tightness in your chest, isn't from indigestion. It's your heart, straining and struggling to pump blood through a rapidly narrowing road. That dizzy spell when you stand up, or those hands and feet that are always cold, that's not a trivial matter. Those are the stroke warning signs. They are the silent cries for help your heart is sending you. I know those feelings better than anyone because I used to ignore them. I told myself, it's probably just old age. I lied to myself. And that lie led me straight to the emergency room. I paid a heavy price for not listening to my own body. Does any of what I just described sound familiar to you? Even just a little? If yes, just type the number 1 in the comments. If you're fortunate enough that it doesn't, type 0. I read all the comments because on this journey, we are not alone. Stalin once said, "A single death is a tragedy. 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic." I thought a lot about that quote while I was lying in a hospital bed. And I realized, the disease of atherosclerosis works in the same way. It doesn't come from a single, massive enemy. It comes from small, daily attackers that we mistake for friends. Today, we're going to turn on the lights and unmask the 3 biggest impostors, the 3 enemies disguised as health foods hiding in most of our kitchens. Imposter number 1, bottled orange juice, the sweet sugar bomb. Look at it, it looks wonderful, doesn't it? Advertisers tell us it's pure, rich in vitamin C. But what is the truth? When they squeeze an orange for its juice, they throw away the most precious part, the fiber. What's left is a concentrated glass of fructose sugar. Drinking a glass of this is even worse than eating candy, because there is no fiber to slow down its absorption. It hits your liver like a shockwave, creates a blood sugar spike, and fuels that fire of inflammation we talked about earlier. It is premium gasoline for the plaque in your arteries. Impostor number 2, breakfast cereal, dessert disguised as a meal. This is the most sophisticated liar. We buy it for our grandchildren, for ourselves, thinking we are starting the day with energy. But do this one thing, the next time you're at the store, turn the cereal box around. You will see sugar listed as the first or second ingredient. Every crunchy spoonful is, in fact, just cleverly disguised candy. Think about that. We are starting our day by allowing an enemy to attack our heart health system from the very first moment. It's terrifying. Impostor number 3, white bread, the most familiar enemy. Of these 3, this is the one I hate the most. Because it's the one that deceived me for the longest time. White bread. It was the foundation of every hurried breakfast, my companion for 30 years. I ate it with eggs, with jam, with butter. I trusted it. But I didn't know that the manufacturers had stripped away everything good from the wheat kernel, the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals. What remains is just a lifeless powder that turns into sugar almost instantly inside your body. It has no nutritional value other than raising my high blood pressure and feeding the plaque that was slowly killing me. This enemy wasn't far away. It was right on my dinner table, in my own hands. And that is the most painful truth of all. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself. Of these 3 imposters I've just mentioned, orange juice, cereal, and white bread. Are any of them permanent residents in your kitchen? If it's number 1, type 1. If it's number 2, type 2. If it's number 3, type 3. And if, unfortunately, all 3 are present, type all 3. Acknowledgement is the first step to change. That morning began just like any other. The smell of fresh coffee filled the kitchen. The morning sun streamed through the window. I was even planning to replant some rose bushes in the garden. A perfect day. I had no idea it was the morning that death itself had decided to visit me. It didn't come like a storm. It came like a strange wind. A strange tightness started in the center of my chest. Not pain, just a dull heaviness. I told myself, it's probably just indigestion from last night. I poured another cup of coffee, trying to ignore it. But it didn't go away. 5 minutes later, that heaviness turned into something terrifying. It felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. A sharp pain shot down my left arm, and a cold sweat broke out across my forehead. The world around me started to spin. I tried to call my wife's name, Eleanor, but no sound came out. I just managed to see her face as she walked into the kitchen. Her expression turned from surprise, to concern, to absolute terror. I will never forget her scream. That scream was more terrifying than the pain in my chest. Because in that moment, I realized I wasn't just dying. I was dragging my life partner into that nightmare with me. I was becoming a burden, the greatest horror of her life. Everything after that was a blur. The flashing lights of the ambulance. Strange faces. The sound of machines. When I woke up in the hospital, the first person I saw was the cardiologist. He looked at me and said something I will carry with me for the rest of my life. "Mr. Harold, we can put in a stent to clear one road for you. But if you don't change what's clogging up the other roads, we will be seeing each other again very soon. And next time, we might not be so lucky." It was then that I understood. Those slices of white bread, those glasses of orange juice, those bowls of sweet cereal, they weren't just breakfast. They were the bricks that had built the walls of my prison. And Eleanor's scream was the wake-up call, forcing me to either break down those walls or die inside them. Did my story make you pause and think, even for a moment? If yes, just type the number 1. If no, type 0. I'm not telling this story to scare you. I'm telling you so that you will never have to live through it. A civil engineer once told me, Mr. Harold, to build a strong bridge, you can't use just one material. You need concrete for the foundation, steel for the structure, and cables to connect it all. After my heart attack, I realized that rebuilding my heart health is the same. We have spent too much time talking about the enemies. Now, it's time for us to meet the heroes. Not just one, but a squad of 3 heroes, a perfect trinity that my doctor called my golden breakfast. Get ready, because this is the answer we've all been waiting for. Hero number 1, old-fashioned rolled oats, the sweeping foundation. This is the foundation of everything. But make no mistake, I'm not talking about those sugary instant oatmeal packets. I'm talking about pure, old-fashioned rolled oats. Inside each tiny oat lies a secret weapon called beta-glucan. Imagine beta-glucan as a smart sponge traveling through your body. As it moves through your gut, it doesn't absorb nutrients. Instead, it does something extraordinary. It soaks up and traps bad cholesterol, LDL, molecules, like a magnet pulling up iron filings. Then, it carries all that waste naturally out of your body, before it has a chance to stick to your artery walls and contribute to plaque buildup. It doesn't attack anything. It's simply a dedicated sanitation worker, cleaning your system every single day. Hero number 2, avocado, the good, fat hero. Fat? Isn't that bad for my heart? That was the first question I asked my doctor. And he smiled, only bad fats are the enemy, Mr. Harold. This is good fat, a true hero. The monounsaturated fat in avocado does something no pill can match. It helps lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and at the same time, helps raise good cholesterol, HDL. Think of it this way, if LDL is the garbage trucks clogging the road, then HDL is the cleanup crew, coming to tow those broken down trucks off your arterial highway. Avocado helps reduce the number of troublemaking trucks and increases the number of cleanup crews. It's a win-win. And that's not all. The abundant potassium in avocado also helps the body balance salt and water, directly contributing to lowering high blood pressure. Hero number 3, ground flax/chia seeds, the omega-3 fire department. And here is a critically important note, they must be grounded. If you eat them whole, they will pass right through you without releasing their power. When ground, these tiny seeds unleash a huge amount of omega-3s. Think of them as the elite fire department. This is one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory agents. It enters your body and puts out the smoldering fires of inflammation that are burning your artery walls, the root cause we talked about in segment 2. It soothes the scratches, leaving bad cholesterol with nowhere to stick. It heals from the inside. You see, alone, they are powerful. But when you combine them, oats to soak up the junk, avocado to manage the traffic, and flax seeds to put out the fires, they form an unbeatable team. Every morning when I eat this meal, I don't just feel full. I feel safe. I feel like I'm personally handing my heart a solid shield. It's not just a meal. It's my promise to myself, to Eleanor, that I will be here, healthy, to walk the rest of this road with her. Of the 3 heroes I've just introduced, which one's story impressed you the most? Type 1 if it's oats. Type 2 if it's an avocado. Type 3 if it's flax/chia seeds. I'd love to know which hero spoke to you. My wife, Eleanor, is a very practical woman. She loves my stories, but she lives by facts. When I began my journey of changing my breakfast, she would watch me every day with eyes full of love, but hidden deep within them was a silent fear. She was afraid that this was just a hopeless effort. She was afraid I was clinging to a belief that had no foundation. One evening, She took my hand and asked gently, "Harold, I believe in you. But does anyone else believe in this? Is there any proof?" Her question woke me up. My faith wasn't enough. I needed to show the woman I loved that our hope was built on solid ground. And so, we went searching together. Not for a miracle, but for the truth. And what we found changed everything. This isn't an old man's wisdom. This is what the world's leading scientists and doctors have proven. First, about avocados. Eleanor and I found a massive study in the Journal of the American Heart Association, one of the most respected sources in the world. They tracked tens of thousands of people for 30 years. And the result was astonishing. People who ate avocados regularly had a 16% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Think about that number. For every 100 people like you and me, 16 were saved from a tragedy. Next came oats. We read a meta-analysis of dozens of different studies. The conclusion was crystal clear: the beta-glucan fiber in oats can help lower bad cholesterol, LDL, by up to 7%. That number might sound small, but it can be the line between your doctor prescribing you more medication or smiling and saying, "I'll see you next year." And finally, those magical little seeds. Another study showed that eating flaxseed daily helps to significantly lower high blood pressure. It's like slowly loosening the iron band that's been tightening around your heart. When I read those words aloud to Eleanor, for the first time in months, I saw the anxiety in her eyes melt away. It was replaced by a genuine sense of peace. She no longer looked at me like a patient trying in vain. She looked at me like a husband who was taking back control of his life, using methods that were scientifically proven. Those numbers, those studies, they were no longer just dry data. For us, they were promises. The promise of a future where we could grow old together peacefully, no longer haunted by the fear of ambulance sirens. After hearing this, do you believe that food truly has the power to heal? Type 1 if you believe. Type 0 if you are still skeptical. Your answer, whatever it is, gives me more faith and motivation on this journey. What do you see in this picture? You'd probably say it's an old man playing with his 2 grandchildren. A happy moment. But for me, that's not the whole truth. What I see in this picture are hundreds of breakfasts of oatmeal and avocado. Because without those breakfasts, this picture would never exist. The strength in my legs to chase after them, the steady heartbeat that doesn't get winded, the peace of mind to be able to laugh so freely, it was all purchased with those simple meals. This is the real reason we do all of this. It's not just to lower cholesterol or manage high blood pressure. Those are just numbers on a piece of paper. The real reason is the feeling of light feet as you take an evening walk with your partner, hand in hand. The real reason is the warmth that spreads to your fingertips and toes, a sign that blood is flowing to every corner of your body. The real reason is the absolute peace when you lie down in bed each night, no longer afraid of a sudden chest pain. It's the freedom from being haunted by the sound of an ambulance siren. The real reason is the smile on the faces of the people you love. A smile that no longer has a trace of worry. It's the sound of your grandchildren's laughter when they know their grandpa is still strong enough to build a sandcastle with them. That breakfast isn't just food. It's a choice. Every spoonful of oatmeal is a vote you cast for a brighter tomorrow. Every slice of avocado is a commitment you make to your loved ones that you will be here, with them. You're not just working to unclog your arteries. You are opening the road to priceless moments that no amount of money can ever buy. So, I want to ask you this. The picture of the future that you are fighting for, what does it look like? Type 1 if that picture has the laughter of your grandchildren. Type 0 if it's the peace and freedom to travel with your partner. Whatever your answer is, close your eyes and picture it. Because that, my friends, is the most powerful medicine in the world. We've walked a long road together in this video. And now, you and I, we stand together at a fork in the road. One path is very familiar. It's easy. It asks nothing of you. It's the path of yesterday, the one that leads right back to the old fears, the pills, and a life left to chance. The other path, it looks a little steeper. It requires a small change. A decision. But I can tell you, at the end of that road is the picture of the future we painted earlier. It's laughter. It's peace. It's life. I cannot choose for you. No one can. The decision of which path to take is entirely in your hands. But I can promise you this, you will not have to walk it alone. When I started this journey, I stumbled a lot. I felt alone. That's why I took the time to create a map, a toolkit so you can start with ease and confidence. I've compiled everything I've learned, every precious piece of advice from my cardiologist, every one of my secrets into a simple guide. I call it the Heart-Saving Breakfast Blueprint. This is my gift to you. It's completely free. Inside, you'll find the exact recipe for my golden breakfast. 2 other artery-friendly alternatives, so you never get bored. And most importantly, the blacklist, the breakfast foods my doctor ordered me to stay away from at all costs. Think of it as your weapon. Download it using the link right below this video. And you know, an army is always stronger than a single soldier. That's why I built the Healthy with Harold community on Facebook. It's not just a page. It's a family. It's a place where we share new recipes, celebrate lower blood pressure numbers, and share the joy of being able to walk a little farther. Join us. Let us celebrate your victories, no matter how small. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And your first step can start right now, right here. If you are ready to walk this new path with me. If you are ready to reclaim your future. Just type one word in the comments, ready. It's just one word, but it's a promise you make to yourself. Remember, health isn't a destination, it's a journey. And I would be honored to walk it with you.